whichever one I can wrestle out of the envelope. By the way, he also appreciates, this is no sense an endorsement because I'm a completely neutral party, but he also appreciates a good hat. So, number 10, who is Rebecca Hicks.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca Hicks, and I am also running for County Commissioner for District 5. For those of you who don't know, District 5 is the city of Monroe north of the river and some parts of Frenchtown Township that interlap in there. As the County Commissioner candidates that have told us, there's not really a lot that that position can do regarding gun rights, except for the few things that Mr. Levens mentioned regarding access to county-run buildings and facilities. So instead, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about my background with hunting and fishing. My dad is a retired conservation officer, so I have been around guns, handled guns, and known the rights and responsibilities of handling a gun since basically the time I could walk. We had BB guns on up. He also was my hunter safety instructor. And having your dad as a hunter safety instructor does not mean he takes it easier on you. He actually takes it harder. I had to miss one class, so he made me take 2 tests. Instead of 1 test, I had to take both of them. I passed, didn't miss a single question. If I would have, I think he probably would have made me retake it. That's the kind of man that my dad was. I'm a country girl. I was born in Monroe, but grew up in northern Michigan, hunting and fishing my whole life. I married a city boy, so I got him into hunting, and now he thinks that's the best thing on this earth. So I thought, what better thing to do for our first anniversary? It's one of the gifts for our first anniversary is paper. On our first anniversary, rather than going out to dinner or movies or whatever, we took a CPL class together, and we have our CPLs. And I thought that there's nothing better to do and no better paper gift that we could get each other than that, since that's our shared thing that we do now. If any of you happen to live in my district, I would be more than happy to have your support. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, even if you don't live in my district, I'd be more than happy to answer those. I just want to thank you for your time this evening.
Six, number Dale Zorn. Number Dale Zorn? Mr. Dale Zorn. Thank you.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. You know, I can make this real simple. My feelings towards the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. And you heard earlier that the First Amendment wouldn't happen without the Second Amendment. The fact is, the Second Amendment is why this nation is as great as it is. It's not for hunting. It's for protecting oneself. It's for protecting this nation against the odds that come before us. As we look back over history, if it wasn't for the Second Amendment, we would not be the great nation that we are today. That is why the Second Amendment has to remain strong. That is why the Michigan legislature, which I've been very proud to be part of this past year and 9 months now, very proud to be a part of the legislature, the House, that has been changing our state laws that will give a better opportunity for people to own handguns in Michigan. We looked at 5282, which the House passed, and I might add that all these bills that we have done in the House, I have been a positive vote on all of them. But that House Bill 5282 will give pistol owners the opportunity to have a broader place that is lawful purpose. If you know what lawful purpose is in state laws, it'll broaden that lawful purpose. So if you happen to be going to the gun range and decide to stop at McDonald's for a hamburger, currently, or before this bill was signed into law, it would have been illegal for you to do that. Once this bill became law, that became a lawful purpose. You heard a little bit about 5225. It eliminates the unnecessary state background check in use of the federal background checks. We don't need 2 government background checks on you. 1 is enough. We don't need to have 2 layers of government there. There's just a number of bills and laws that we've done this year, and I won't go through all of them, but I've got a list of them. The important part of this whole conversation is giving the honest citizen the opportunity to defend themselves, defend this nation. And I hope we never have to defend it again on our soil. But if we do, the Second Amendment is going to be so important to each and every one of us. And I take that very seriously. So I'm very proud to be your state legislator, your representative for the last year and a half. We have done a lot for Second Amendment rights. We're going to continue to do that. There is battles that's going to be waged. There's going to be battles waged across the aisle. There's going to be battles waged in the administration. But together, with your help, we can make it work. And it's so important to stay on task and protect that Second Amendment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dale Zorn was instrumental in obtaining for me the coveted NRA toaster, which toasts the NRA logo. Now my BLTs are finally up to the standards that I'd like to have them at. Okay. I have, I think, 2 more numbers in here. Wait a minute, 11 here is, I'm misplacing names. Haskell, right? I got the name David? Is it David?
No.
What is it? Kurt. Who?
Kurt Haskell.
Kurt. It's Kurt Haskell. Okay, I've got this down. By the end of this event, I'll understand all. Mr. Haskell, oh yes.
All right. So maybe I'll have to talk to Dale about getting one of those toasters. I think I could use one. I'm Kurt Haskell. I'm the Democratic nominee for U.S. Congress 7th District, running against Mr. Walberg. I'm the only person running for this position actually from Monroe County. There are 7 counties in our district, and I live right here in Frenchtown. I'm a lifelong resident of Michigan. I grew up in Bay County, Pinconning, the cheese capital. I went to school in Saginaw, where I earned a bachelor's degree in science. Originally I was pre-med, and in my last semester I changed my outlook, and I went to law school to become an attorney. I've been an attorney now for 13 years. I have an office here in Monroe. I also have an office in Taylor. I practice with my wife Lori, who's also an attorney. And not a politician. I've never run for office. I have no desire to be a career politician at all, like my opponent has been. I don't think he's ever had any other job in his life. I'm the opposite. I've never had any political position. And I'm running for one reason, to make this country a better place. I think our country has drastically gone downhill. There's a reason we have a 15% approval rating in Congress, which Mr. Walberg is part of. Our representatives don't represent the people. The Constitution is very much a part of my campaign. I consider myself a democratic constitutionalist. I support not just the Second Amendment, but every constitutional amendment. Like everyone else here, I'm a gun owner. And I will never make any vote that infringes upon any of your constitutional rights, ever. My position on guns is very simple. If it infringes upon your Second Amendment right, I will never vote for it. That will probably clear up some of the questions you have for me later, hopefully. My opponent, although he has supported gun rights to this point, has not supported your other constitutional rights, although he claims to do so. He's voted for the Internet Spy Bill. He's voted for the National Defense Authorization Act, which requires indefinite detention of Americans without a trial. He's voted for the Patriot Act. He raises his hand, shrugging me off, but he knows it's true, and it's one of the reasons.
I think we're getting off track here.
I don't agree, because I take all constitutional rights together, and I support the entire Constitution. My point being, if if you can't trust your representatives to support some of the amendments of the Constitution, you can't trust them to support any. I will work for the people of Monroe and for the people of the district. I love Monroe. I've lived here for 10 years. We're very much a part of the community, and I will support all of your gun rights and all of the Constitution. And thanks for giving me these few minutes to talk to you tonight. Thank you.
And let's see, David Huffman. And I think everybody else is done now. Wait a minute. Yeah, we've got one more. Wait a minute. He came in last, so okay. I called you. Get up here. You get the end.
Ladies first.
All right, let's do it. A gentleman.
Lady first.
I should talk.
You're up.
Okay.
Quite the gentleman, thank you very much.
This is Ann Rossio.
Hi. Hi, I'm Ann Rossio. I'm running for District 17 State Representative. Mr. LaVoy was the first one to get up. He spoke. It's a brand new district, so it's basically everything north of the river of the city of Monroe. It also includes Frenchtown, Berlin, Ash, Exeter, London townships, as well as Flat Rock, Rockwood, and Sumter Township in Wayne County. So brand new district. I am very strong. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am currently in law school. I've got one semester left at Wayne State Law, and I won my Juris Doctorate 2013. I very much believe in our Constitution. I think that our Second Amendment rights are very, very important. We need to work to protect those. There's an important date coming up, October 17th, I do believe. Someone brought it up, I don't remember who it was, but it comes up for a vote in the Senate, and I absolutely, we should call both our governor and our senator and urge them to get the bills through the Senate. I think that what we want is for it to come up for a vote, so it deserves the right to come up for a vote. But a little bit more about me. I am a member of the NRA MCRGO. I was endorsed by the MCRGO for this election. I am not a hunter myself, but I have had 3 years of shooting lessons and definitely be interested in getting my CPL, so maybe I'll have to come see you and take a class. But I have worked, I can't say I worked at the Metro Park, so if you're familiar with Wayne County, I worked at both Oakwoods and Lake Erie Nature Centers, and they would do controlled hunts. So it was my job to inform the very angry public that would come in and ask, why are there people with guns shooting the deer in the parks? And you know, these are people that they love animals, and they're mad, so they come in and yell at me. And I was able, I'm happy to say, to explain to many of them that it's very necessary. We need hunters, because I would explain to them how the deer would get very emaciated, and that's just, it's not a good way to go. And so I was an advocate, I feel, for hunting, and they understood much more after, you know, leaving and speaking with me about the controlled hunts that we did do in the Metro Park. So I'm not a hunter myself, but I very much support that. And again, Second Amendment rights, pretty much I won't go through what everyone said up here. Mr. Zorn covered the bills very well, but I will conclude in that, please, I look forward to your questions, and I absolutely will, if should and when, hopefully, I get into the House for the District 17, I will advocate for the Second Amendment rights. Thank you very much.